guys, welcome to the 2020 Cafe. I'm James ALDCROFT. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Chinese broth soup. We're going to make chicken and noodles. First of all, let's look down at the ingredients. Here we've got the ingredients that are going into the bouillon, the stock, the base to this soup. So we've got ingredients such as some red chillies, we've got some spring onions, we've got some ginger. This is root ginger, fresh root ginger. Don't use the powdered, get some fresh stuff. We've got some garlic going in. And then we have some basic bits that you'll recognise from your own kitchen. We've got onions, carrots, celery, bit of pepper, some mushrooms, bit of shallot. They're all going to be simmered over on the pan in a minute. We're also adding some flavours, and this is what gives us our Asian flavour. Here we have cumin seeds. We're going to toast those first. You can either put them into a dry pan on top of the stove, or you could put them into a tray in the oven, but they do need to be heated up, warmed up to get the flavours going. Here we've got Chinese 5-spice. This is a mixture of Szechuan peppercorns, star anise, cloves, cinnamon and fennel. We're not adding any salt today because we're going to be using soya sauce, and that's where the seasoning, the salt, is coming from. We're going to use white pepper, and right at the end we're going to finish the soup with a little bit of sesame oil. Okay guys, here we are getting ready to prepare the stock. So I've got my vegetables here. Don't worry too much about the accuracy of the chop here. Remember, this is going to be strained out. This is to give us a flavour. So we have some onions, some celery. I'm putting a bit of chilli in there, and what you'll notice is I'm knocking the seeds out. You can use a little spoon for this, or just your nail, but don't touch your eyes afterwards. The heat's in the seeds, and I don't want this dish to be too hot. So I've knocked the seeds out, and then we're just roughly chopping, and that's going in. Okay, very quickly, get a carrot peeled. This is what you'll recognise from your basic mirepoix of vegetables that you use for your stocks. We've obviously added the chilli in there, and we're going to get some ginger. A couple of shallots in there as well. With the garlic, I wouldn't personally worry about peeling it. Just give it a cut so it gets some of the flavour out. This needs to be quite a big flavour here, so we can put quite a bit of vegetables in there. With the ginger, I wouldn't bother peeling it. Again, it doesn't matter. Get it in there. Quite a bit. Spring onions. I've taken the really dark bit off of them because the really dark bit is going to make the stock go quite brown, and we don't want it brown. Got a couple of mushrooms to get in there. Just a couple of little bits of pepper in there. Okay, lovely. So we're adding to that fresh cold water, and that's going straight onto the heat. Okay, so we're at the stove now. I'm bringing out of the oven a little tray of toasted cumin. That's going straight in. And I've got my toasted Chinese 5-spice. That's going in. I'm going to give it a stir. It's on the heat now. I'm going to simmer that for about 40 minutes. It's going to give us a lovely full flavoured broth, which is the base to this soup. Okay guys, welcome back. We've left this on the stove to simmer for about 45 minutes. If we get in with a spoon, have a taste of it. Very nice. You've got all those flavours, the base flavours of the leek, the celery, the onions. There's also a nice flavour of ginger in there. Lovely seasoning from the Chinese 5-spice, and there's actually quite a bit of heat in there from the chilli as well. The one thing it's missing is salt, so we're going to get in there with a bit of soy sauce. This is a dark soy, so a very rich flavour, and we're going to put a good glug in there. Little stir, get in. Delightful. Really happy with that. What we need to do now is to strain it to get all the bits out. So I've got a colander over a box which is going to collect the liquid. Towel because the pan handle's got hot. Get that out of the way to the wash, and then we'll have a look at this. Okay, so a clean pan on the stove, and now the stock can go in. That's a very tasty base. You could use this stock to poach chicken, to poach pork in. If you're doing Chinese dishes, this will be a lovely stock to have around. Today we're going to finish it off as a soup. That's where we're going next. Okay. Hello guys, welcome back. Remember what we're doing here. We're making a Chinese broth soup. We've got our broth, we've got our stock that you've seen over at the stove, and now what we've got are the ingredients that are going into it, so that when we plate it up it's not just the liquid, it's got some nice bits in it. So let's look down at these pieces. We've got a nice selection here. So working from over this end, we've got some very small broccoli florets which I'll blanch in the stock in a minute. We've got a little bit of the stalk. This is the stalk from the broccoli. Peel it, chop it, really lovely. Quite a different flavour to the broccoli, but good to try. So peel it and chop it. Here's some finely chopped carrot, some onion, some ginger. We've got red and green pepper. We've got some mushrooms, spring onions here, cut on the angle so that you get nice long pieces. Some celery here, and this one here is a vegetable called mooli. So this is what we would call Chinese radish. It's got a radish flavour, very light, very fresh. And I'll just take a moment just to show you how I've cut this. So I top it, take a section, I then use a peeler, or you could use a simple little knife just to go round, get the skin off. And then take sections, nice thin slices this way. And then put them together. Get your fingers out of the way when you're doing this. You can use a big chef's knife. This is easy. This is a little serrated, lovely and sharp, very easy to use. And then just using your fingers as a guide. Do it slowly to start with and then build up speed. And then you get nice fine pieces. Remembering that this soup needs to be picked up with a spoon. We're not giving people knives and forks for this. So everything needs to be small so that it will fit onto a spoon so it doesn't fall out, splash people when they're eating. So keep that in mind with this. All these vegetables need to be small. Okay, excellent. Okay guys, welcome back to the stove. We've got our stock simmering here, and I'm going to use this chicken. I'm going to cook it in the actual stock so it flavours the stock, and obviously the chicken will then get the nice flavours of the broth as well. So the first thing that I do with this is a chicken thigh, a fresh Sussex chicken thigh. I just pull off the fat and the skin, and then I'm literally just dropping that in to poach gently in there. Make sure you give your hands a wash. What we don't want to do is poison our customers. Raw chicken, for example, could have a bacteria called salmonella on it, so make sure you've washed your hands. This chicken thigh we're going to poach in there for about 8 to 10 minutes. It's going to be beautifully moist, it's going to be tasting lovely. And then when it's been poached for that long, let it cool down for a few minutes. Take it off the bone and then slice it, and that's ready. That's lovely, tasty, moist, cooked chicken ready to finish the soup. Whilst we're here, I'll just show you, we're doing a chicken and noodle soup. So here we have our dried noodles. When the chickens come out, I'll actually put the noodles in and blanch those in the stock for about, I think on the packet it said 8 minutes. So when the chickens come out, I'll put the noodles in, and then they'll simmer in the stock for about 8 minutes. And again, they get a lovely flavour. And then when you've done that, you've got cooked noodles. Just a little point, if you're going to hold these noodles until tomorrow, put some oil. You can see on these they've got oil on them. If you don't put oil on them, they'll stick together. So just dress them in a little bit of oil. I've used sesame oil because it's part of this dish. It's the same idea with pasta. If you're holding pasta for the next day, dress it in a bit of olive oil, it won't stick together. Okay, so we've now got all our ingredients ready, and we're going to be able to finish this soup. Okay guys, we're at the end of this dish now, so we need to get all of the ingredients in, and then we need to plate it up. So working our way through, we've got some finely chopped onion, just a little bit. We've got some finely sliced ginger. Some finely chopped celery. A few mushrooms. You could, if you had the money, buy some quite nice expensive Chinese mushrooms. We today have used button mushrooms. This is the stalk of the broccoli, gives a little bit of crunch to the dish, very nice. Fine chopped carrot, really nice to find in there, a bit of crunchy and a nice bit of colour. Bit of red pepper, broccoli, bit of green pepper, then we have the spring onions, the mooli, the Chinese radish, the noodles and the chicken. So I think we're going to go in with the noodles first. I'm serving a main course portion today. Usually at the 2020 Cafe we do 2 options for the soup. We can do a small bowl or we can do a main course, and today I'm doing the main course version. So this is why we're putting so much stuff in there. The cooked chicken, the poached chicken going in. The mooli's in. And then we'll keep the spring onions there to throw on top afterwards. Okay guys, welcome back. We've made our soup. Our job now is to plate it up. I've got some tongs here that we're going to use to pull out the noodles. Remember, this is a main course dish, so don't be tight. Get lots of food in there. We'll clean the plate afterwards before we send it. And I'm struggling there, so let's get on and use this ladle, and that will allow me to pick much more up. Try and get a nice mixture of vegetables in there. And then just finish it off so that it's all swimming nicely in the soup, in the broth. As we said at the start, you can have a lot of fun with this. You can add dumplings to it, various vegetables. Depends how much time you've got. I'm going to go for a little bit of fresh coriander on top. Some spring onions, they're going to add a little bit of fresh zing. Remember, these are fresh, they haven't been cooked, so they've got a real nice heat to them. And then just finish it just with a dash. Sesame oil. Nice clean plate. And then we have 2 bowls of chicken noodle soup.